I can't really remember where I read it, but there was this saying that had to do with going fast to go slow, or reading is faster than listening, something like along those lines. I'm trying to find where I got it from. I've tried researching, but I literally couldn't find it. But I needed to record this video. But in my experience, you need to go slow to go fast. Like, what do I mean by that? For example, there was this point in my life where I was trying to be productive. I was trying to maximize a lot of aspects of my life. So, for example, I was learning Spanish. I was playing chess, not just playing chess. I was trying to become like a candidate master, which is like 2200, a 2200 rating. But I wasn't just trying to learn Spanish. I was trying to become very fluent in it. So I was trying to like focus 2 hours a day, like an hour a day. Same thing with chess. I was trying to read a book a week. I was trying to work out to get into prime physical condition. I was trying to stretch. I wasn't just trying to stretch too. I was trying to like learn the splits, which I'm no longer doing because I failed. I was trying to start a business. I was trying to do a lot of other things, but these are the main things I could think of currently. At the end of the day, I was making progress, but I eventually got burnt out to a point where I wasn't really enjoying myself anymore. I wasn't enjoying doing these things anymore. And it became like a chore, and I just, I'll find myself quitting for a long time and starting again. And I don't know if it's sustainable for lots of other people, but for me, I wasn't able to sustain it for a long period of time. And I thought to myself that if I'm not doing anything during the day, like it is a large portion of my day where I'm not doing anything, like I'm wasting my time, like I'm wasting my life. I thought being productive meant that every hour of your day is maximized. But we're not machines, we're human beings. We're not supposed to work 24/7. Let me try to quote a tweet I heard from a guy named Naval. I've probably talked about him a couple of times before in my channel. He said something along the lines of walking in sprints. Like, he gave an example that we are more related to lions in our omnivorous development than we are to cattle. And what he meant by that was we are supposed to rest, work, like like a sprint, like all the lion do. A lion would rest for most of the day, then go for it, then work, like then hunt an animal with full tenacity for a small period of time. Then once he gets the animal, goes back to rest. Please understand, I'm not saying that you should work exactly like a lion, because for a lot of people, their lives are not structured in a way where they could even work like that in the first place. Even for me, I have to go to school sometimes, so it's not really realistic for a lot of people. But there's some aspects you can mirror when it comes to working like a lion. Like if you're working on a task, instead of putting your nose to the grindstone 24/7, you could just easily take a break for a little bit and come back to it. For example, in this video, I was recording it halfway, but my brain became foggy, so I couldn't really edit it as good as I am now. I went to sleep and I've woken back up and I can think of many more ideas to add to the video. I can edit and cut some of the fluff between the lines, which is just an application of the concept itself. It's more like an idea, more like an aspiration to be. So instead of me trying to say work exactly like a lion, I'm just trying to give you an example and say aspire to work like a lion. Because for many of us, it's an aspiration. Thank you. And what I couldn't bear in mind back then, just like a couple months ago, was that rest is productive, whether I like it or not. Rest is part of being productive. Like, I couldn't wrap my head around that. I was like, I'm wasting my time resting. Like, I should maximize every portion of my day. But then it didn't work out for me. So now I'm trying to work in sprints. This also ties back to a quote from Naval still, where he talks about how inspiration is fleeting, act on it immediately. I would rather do those things when I feel inspired to do them, because I learn in a different way than me trying to force myself to do those things. So imagine if you're the kind of person who's doing 20 things at once and you think that that's being productive, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's not really productive because chances are you're not really getting much work done. If you are, congrats, good for you. But I'm very sure there's people like me who who are not able to do so many things at once, especially long term. So if let me give an example. Like if you're the kind of person who's doing 20 things at once and you're actually making progress with it, like you're actually going very far in those 20 things you're doing. Imagine what you would do if you're doing one thing or two things or three things or four things at once. Like imagine if you diluted that down to just four things and focus on them. Imagine how much more successful you would be if you're doing those things. And I was so, and like, let me give you a specific example. When I was doing so many things at once, one of them was Spanish. So I had to like sit myself down one day and say, you need to drop some things. There's some things you need to drop. And one of them was Spanish. I was very frustrated with myself for dropping Spanish because there's a concept in game theory called the sunk cost fallacy, which basically, in layman's terms, is when you've done something for so long, but it's not really having a positive effect in your life, or you're like, I've done this for so many years, I've put so much effort into it, I might as well still continue. That could play a role in relationships, could play a role in work, uh, etc. A whole lot of other things. But those are the two things I could think about currently. Let me try to give a specific example. Oh, let's say you're in a relationship and you're not happy in it, and instead of just ending the relationship or trying to talk to your partner to improve things, you're like, oh, I've been in this relationship for 4 years. Why not just continue? I mean, I put so much effort into it. I don't want to start again. And that's a big trap that a lot of people get in. So I wanted to try and avoid that. And it was very difficult back then. Not because Spanish is some amazing thing that would really affect my life. Like it won't make me any money. It's just a hobby I was very interested in. But I had to drop it and make some sacrifices. Because there's this quote I heard recently from the Chris Williamson podcast. I don't know if you've heard of him. He said you can be anything you want, or you cannot be everything. And that stuck to me. So I dropped a lot of things and now I'm only focused on like three or four things. Let's say three major things. I'm focused on three major things. I'll shed more light on it in the future. That's a video for another day. But I'm really focused on three main things and putting all my effort into it. If I'm not doing those three things, like if I completed those tasks, I can do anything. I could scroll TikTok for like here. I could just sleep all day. Like I could do all those things and it doesn't matter to me. But once I've completed those really three big tasks, I'm really trying to avoid the hustle culture because no grindstone, just working, writing every single day. Like we're not machines, we're human. You need to rest. You need to have fun. You need to take a break. Like there's a group of people that need to be told you need to work more. But there's a whole other set of people who need to be told you need to play more. Go sit down on the couch and watch TV, to be honest. And I'm not saying I'm successful in any way, like I'm not, but I used to be so focused on what I wanted to. Let's say, let me say the mission, just for just to try and give an example. I was so focused on the mission that every other aspect of my life was neglected completely. I'm talking about friendships, fun. Like I didn't go out at all. Like I put my head down just to be in my room all day. And it's not life at the end of the day. It's not life. So if I could go back in time and tell my younger self something, I'd be like, you might feel productive when all your hours in the day are maximized, or you're doing something with all your hours in the day, but it's not productive because you burn out. You won't have enough time to think about other things. You want to get paid for your ideas. That's a topic for another day. I'll end it here. So, in summary, what I'm trying to say is that just because you're doing something that feels like work for all the hours of your day doesn't mean it's productive. You want to avoid burning out and walk like a lion, move in sprints, rest, sprint, and repeat. And focus on three big tasks for the year and hone them to as close to perfection as you can. And yeah, ideally, you want to be handling two or three big tasks at once. And yeah, I hope I was able to share some, at least a little bit of value. Maybe you listen to what I say and think, this doesn't apply to me. I'm not preaching the gospel or anything. I'm just saying, I'm talking from my own experiences. So if you at least pick one thing, I'll be happy. And I hope I was able to shed some sort of value to anyone that's watching this. Thank you.